Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Sheldina. Hi. I want to go ahead and do a quick wrap up of what I read so far this week. It's gonna be quick because me and my daughter are about to head out for to go get some breakfast and stuff, so I'm gonna be quick. She's hungry. So I read A Sweet Low Country Proposal by Preslaysa Williams. This one follows Jasmine and Marcus. So I did talk about how I saw another book, and I don't know if it was the second or the third or whatever have you. So that book, The Sweet Low Country Wedding, was actually first. So I believe it follows them, and they were supposed to get married. But in this book, they have broken up because something happened on their wedding day. She called it off, and they kind of have, not communicated. But she is planning a wedding. I forgot if it's her cousin or a friend, but he had told her he would help plan the wedding. He was supposed to plan the wedding with her. And so when he showed up to help plan, she didn't actually think he was gonna follow through with it since they're no longer together. So they're now planning this wedding together, and obviously they realize that they still have feelings, and whatever happened was kind of like a miscommunication and, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't a bad read at all. I didn't love it. It's not one of my favorites, but I can't even tell you why, to be exact. Like, I can't pinpoint other than it's just a feeling that it was just not bad, And so I do feel like maybe the romance took the back burn, but I guess, I don't know. It wasn't bad. So yeah, again, I got this one from the Dollar Tree, and I believe the proposal wedding comes first. So I did not read that, but it wasn't too, I don't think it spoiled anything from that book. Well, I mean, I didn't read it, but I don't believe they said anything major that happened in there that wasn't said in here. I also read The Banned Bookshop of Maggie Banks by Shauna Robinson. This one, I thought it was a romance. I don't know why, but it's a contemporary fiction following Maggie. She moves to a town, and her best friend is part owner of this bookshop, but her best friend has to go on maternity leave. So she puts Maggie in charge of the bookshop. Now, the bookshop, they only sell classics, and they focus solely on this guy. I forgot his name, is like Eddie something, which is the other owner, the second owner's like grandfather. So he really pushes his book, like tourists come into town to hear about his book. So that's really all they sell, but they're not doing good revenue wise. And Maggie realizes this, and she doesn't want her best friend to be like out of money and eventually out of job. So she like starts doing things that isn't very ethical for the bookstore. Like, she starts selling books on the low that they're not supposed to, and logging it as something else, and doing events that she's not supposed to, whatever. So she kind of finds herself, because she didn't know what she want to do as far as her job, where she want to live, but she finds herself within this bookshop. I believe she didn't really read books either before, but she started reading romances and liking it. She read other classics and thought it was beautiful. So I thought this was good. I like that Maggie found herself within the books and the bookshop and the book space. I appreciated that. I also read The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory, and this one is the second book in her, I forgot the name of the series, but the first one is The Wedding Date, which I read and did not really like. Now, I like this one a lot better. So this one follows a girl, I forgot her name, but again, I don't remember people's names, but it follows a girl who gets proposed at a baseball game, which she don't even like baseball. She went with her boyfriend, and she gets proposed at the baseball game on a jumbotron, and she's like low-key trying to tell him no, but she's like low-key doing it, and he's like, are you telling me no, like out loud, being so expressive, and she's like, well, I'm trying to tell you quietly. So he ends up storming off, and then she's on her phone because she's trying to like save face, but then a cameraman starts walking towards her, like trying to get a close zoom in shot. So then she gets saved by this guy named Carlos and his sister. Why am I remembering his name and not her name? Anyway, that's embarrassing. But it follows from there, and Carlos is kind of like a nice guy, but she writes him off because she just got out of a relationship, a very embarrassing public one. And so, you know, that's how it goes. But I thought it was way better than the wedding day because she was confident. I thought they expressed themselves whenever they felt something, they said something. I do feel like after reading 2 books by Jasmine Guillory, I feel like there is an air of like childishness. I don't know how to say it without it sounding mean because I don't want it to sound mean, but like it almost feels like the characters, even while having these big jobs, they feel kind of not adultish, if that makes sense. That's probably my own perception from reading the first one, so that's probably on me. But anyway, I think I give this one 4 stars, right? Maybe. So I enjoyed it a lot better than I did The Wedding Date. And I believe there's like 2 more books in the series, which I have one physically. But anyway, I think that is all I've read. I did start Red Rising last month, but I soft DNF'd it. I'm not someone who reads a lot of sci-fi, but like if it's rooted in science, like the subject in that it is like biology and chemistry and philosophy, like that I can get behind. But like science where they're building a world in space, like that for me is hard for me to get into. And so I started the book just on audio, and I was confused. I was very confused for a very long time. And so I was like, I'm gonna put it down. And so I said, you know, I feel like this is one of the books that I have to read physically. And then I told her like, hey, I'm gonna stop reading Red Rising for now. And she was like, no, I couldn't imagine like reading it on audio only. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking, that I need to read it physically or, you know, immersive reading, both. But on audio alone, it's very confusing. I even read the dramatized one, which she let me use. So it just still was confusing to me. And then I started Real by Kennedy Ryan, which I'm not far into it yet to like give you the good, like, but I already know I'm gonna like it. But yeah, that is all I wanted to talk about. I don't remember what else I read. Well, I did read one more book, but I need to sit with this one first. But yeah, so that's a quick reading wrap up for y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you had a great week, and I hope you're gonna have a great one coming up. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Happy reading. Bye.